What is going on, guys? This is Hero Talk, and today I'll talk about the set pictures that have been released for Spider-Man Homecoming. So recently we got a whole bunch of set pictures for Spider-Man Homecoming, and the most exciting ones are obviously the ones with Tom Holland with the Spider-Man costume on. That's actually the first time that we see him with the costume on set, because for Civil War we didn't see him at all on set, but everything we saw was movie footage. And yes, it's just great to see him also on set with a suit, just because many are wondering about this whole CGI stuff in the suit, because it did look very unrealistic in Civil War, and many just wondered if it is actually a real man with a real suit in it. And it's just great to see that it is a real person. But yes, we also have Tom Holland on set in other pictures, and we see him probably in school. He in one picture he's running, so you can imagine that, or maybe he's coming too late for class, or maybe he is rushing for someone to rescue someone. Maybe there's just danger in the high school, so he rushes away to hide and put his Spider-Man suit on and just save the day. Yeah, this is just these are just the possibilities. And yes, we have a whole bunch more of them. How he walks by a building, probably also the school, and where he walks on grass with some kind of a science t-shirt on. And yes, it's just great to see. I think also how Peter Parker is more in high school, because Peter Parker's high school did get left out in the previous movies, and that's just too bad, I think. And yes, let's just come to the other pictures where he has the Spider-Man suit on. These are also very exciting, because one of the license plates on the pictures, because Spider-Man is actually on a truck with a cylinder, and this truck has a license plate from Washington DC. So there are theories now that at some point in the movie Spider-Man could end up in Washington DC. I could imagine that he could be visiting Tony there, although this is just the most unlikely scenario I can imagine. But maybe Tony is currently in Washington and he needs Peter's help for something. Why he has then his Spider-Man suit on with his backpack, this is just the part where it gets unlikely. And also the fact that Tony normally isn't in Washington DC, or just the fact that he is very rich and it is very more easy for him, that it is easier for him to travel around the world as it is for Peter. And the fact also that Tony has not the Stark Tower but the Avengers Tower in New York makes this whole thing just unlikely that he's visiting Tony in DC. What is more likely is that Peter is actually having a school trip to Washington, and that's why he has his backpack on. And maybe on the school trip they get attacked by maybe the Vulture, or there's just trouble on this school trip, and Peter gets on the truck, in this truck, and hides in this cylinder and suits up as Spider-Man and saves the day. Yes, this is just more likely, just because he has his backpack on. But still, Probably it will have something to do with the school. Maybe he was previously in school and somehow got to this truck with the Washington DC license plate. Who knows? But I think the most likely thing is that he has a school trip to Washington DC and now has to suit up as Spider-Man. But apart from all this, this could also be just some random license plate that the producers maybe didn't think of, or maybe this car just comes from Washington DC and is now in New York. I mean, this doesn't have to mean anything. Clearly this could just mean that he is in Washington at some point, but still this could also be something random, and this doesn't have to mean anything. So yes, tell me what you guys think about this theory of Peter having a school trip to DC. And as usual, leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more.